Hey everybody, Tusk01 here. Welcome back to another RPG Maker MV devlog. Today we got some nice little plugin updates for you, including one that destroys all of the player's save data, which was requested by Ethan in the comments. It was a pretty interesting quest, and I learned some good couple things, and figured I'd spice it up just a little bit. So first, let's go over a couple of the updates that we have here. So back in Tusk scripts, one thing that you might notice now is that there is no little custom message for the loadSave function. The reason for that being is it didn't really work all the time as intended, and it didn't make too much sense because you as a developer, myself as a developer, we can put the messages anywhere in the world, so to me it's just kind of slap that in there. It didn't make too much sense, so I figured get rid of it. You don't need it. On the same lines for the load save, in complement to my autosave, there is now a auto load function where it automatically loads the last saved data file that was used, which is pretty neat. So instead of going like, oh, would you like to continue and auto load or something, you can just straight auto load or whatnot. You don't have to go to the game over. You have to do something. If you want to just if you just want to load the last save, you just do it. So I figured that was pretty handy. A new update that's derived from my last video for the mapping is the ability to randomly toggle a switch. Now this is a fixed switch that you can use for anything. You want to randomly toggle an event, use this switch with this function and you're good to go. Now I didn't make it so you can use just any switch ID because why would you want to randomly toggle a whole bunch of switches? It doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't mean that you can't cascade it. So if if you want to randomly trigger something and the switch went on, but you want to randomly toggle something else, well, you can just reflip it to toggle it, and if it turns on, it'll do something, or if it's off, it'll do something else. That's up to you. So you can use it as much as you want for the same switch. It don't matter. Another thing that was derived was getting the player positions and checking the player's position. So now with a function, we have two variables. Here, by default, they are 1 and 2 for X and Y, that we will store the player's position when we call the getPlayerPos function. That's pretty handy if you want to do different mappings or if you want to trigger events based on where the player is. But how do we check that? Very simple. We use the checkPlayerPos function. Ooh, yes, you can write a conditional branch that has two ifs, where it's like, if player X is equal to this position, and if player Y is equal to this position, do that. Like, too long, too much work. So I just made a function for it. But the real new beauty is the killSaves function. This is dependent on a switch, which I call right here the killSwitch ID. Nice. And if you want to display a message on the killSave, I have that there, but I'm going to be taking that out. It doesn't make too much sense either, just like the last save, but I thought it was kind of a nice niche. I thought it was nice, but I'm going to be removing that. Don't need that. Extra. So, what's going to happen is, depending on whatever series of events you deemed horrible that the player accomplished, to say, you know what, all your save data is gone, we're gonna kill it. And you call this function and it kills it, and it's gonna bring them right back to the title screen. It's fun. So, enough with this. Let's go and check it out. Let's load up our lovely game. So it's here, as you can see. We have some data. Looks nice. I like to walk. Options. Always dash. Remember everything. So see, now we can clearly see up here. A new file popped up, and that is the config.save file. So that saves us all our nice little settings. Very nice. Why don't we just make another save file? Why not? It's a nice idea, right? So in our folder here for our save data, we can see that we have the config, file save 1, a backup of the file save 1, file 2, and then we have the global manager's configuration, so it knows what the last most used save ID is and all that stuff, so it can work as a happy little manager. But now the live demo has changed, so now we have the switch, which is going to demonstrate the random toggler, and it'll see what we can do. Try to enable it. We did it! It won't always work because it's random. Nope. 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 Yeah! Nope. Nope. Oh yeah! Hey! Well, that's how it works. And it's just random. It'll happen or it won't. But it's at your discretion to how you want to use it. So that's pretty neat. And this little lady is gonna demonstrate the autoloader. Oh, I'm over here now. Sure, I want to save. Alright, let's save over here. Da-da-ba-da. And now I'm back there. It's pretty neat. So I can just go like, autosave? Sure. Autoload? Sure. Everything is great. These two little signs are going to give us our positions. This is going to collect our position and tell us what they are. 7, 7. This guy is going to check our position using the variables that we just enabled. Am I on 7, 7? No. 6, 8. Round 6, 8? No. 8, 8. 8, 8? Yeah! So that is a pretty simple, pretty easy. And last but not least, the piece de resistance. Now let's pay more closer attention to this over here as we say yes. They're gone. You can see clearly in the file, I haven't changed anything, but they're gone. Now that we went back to the title screen, we can't continue, there's nothing, so we're gonna hit new game, and we're here again. Well, what happens when there is nothing, when there is no data? Sure, we just go back to the title. It's that simple. So you can use this right at a game over, or you can use it at any kind of cutscene and just boot them out. It's up to you. So let's see how to set these up. So back in our lovely, lovely editor. So this is a very simple event. So we just gotta give a nice little prompt. Yes, no. So on yes, we do script, and we just call randomToggleSwitch. Then we're checking if, by default, the switch is 2. So we're checking if switch 2 is on. If it is on, you did it. Otherwise, nope. Pretty straightforward. So now, even simpler, we're going to go to the getting the player's position. Again, do a script and just call getPlayerPos, get player position. The other event to get it is the same thing, except it's checkPlayerPos. But to do it like I did it as a conditional branch, in your conditional branch, you're going to go to tab 4, go to script, and then do checkPlayerPos. Don't forget semicolons. Semicolons are very important. So right there you can immediately check yes or no. Well, on or off, true or false. The autoloader for the save file, script, autoLoadSave. Very simple here. Now you can even use this more cleverly in one shot, where you don't just go ahead and click continue new game. You just open up the game and the game loads automatically to its last position. So that's pretty neat. So if your game by design is only meant to have one save slot, that's gonna be this. You don't need anything else. You just go right into it. You can change the dynamic. There's a lot of power in the way that I'm writing this, so that way you as a developer, us as developers, have the freedom to do what we need to do for things that not everyone has done. So here in the killSaves, this function is controlled by a switch, like I've mentioned before. You have to make sure that you want to do this. So here I make sure that my switch 3 is on. Oop, don't do that. I make sure my killSave switch is on. Label your switches properly, it's a good idea. Then I'm calling the killSaves function, and that's going to take care of the rest. There's nothing else to it. Otherwise, I'm making sure that it's off. Always make sure when you're doing these kinds of things, if not all your conditions are met, you make sure that your switches are off. It's just one of those rules of thumbs for best practices. Otherwise, the rest of the plugin remains the same. We just changed a couple things here. We just added a whole bunch of new features. Still do battle tests. Still check out the item trades. Save, we already showed him that. And we can call the game over to load last save or whatnot. So this is pretty neat. Down in the description below is going to be the two links. First one's going to be the one for the plugin itself as it is, and the other one is going to be this very demo. So that way you can play with it and however you darn well please. And if you guys have any suggestions for any other kinds of functions, features, different kind of capabilities, see what else we can do that other people haven't implemented, or see what we can do with what other people haven't implemented, let me know down in the comments below. Don't be shy. And I'll let you know if it's something that I think I can do or can't. I'll be straight up with you. I know this was a very interesting project. It didn't take very long to do, but I definitely learned quite a bit because I've not dealt with the actual data manager, because apparently there's different managers for the data. One to save stuff, one to make the saves, and the other one's just like a generic file manager, which is like, what the heck is all this about? I don't know. It's weird. But hey, I didn't make it. I just use it. Just like the rest of you. So thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Definitely hit that like if you like it. Let me know what you guys think of this plugin. I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. And until the next video, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye bye!